The Calendar tab is where you will configure the hours that your web chat is available. This is important because a web chat is a live interaction, just like a phone call. So you need to have agents available when the web chat is open. To set the schedule, adjust the channel hours of operation for each day in full hour increments. If a channel is going to be closed on a specific day, drag both tabs to 0. You can also configure schedule exceptions or days your operation would normally be open but is closed instead. Holidays are a good example of this. Let's say for this example that your web chat is closed on July 4th. You'll click on the calendar, select July 4th from the calendar. You can check this box if this exception will recur annually, and then you'll drag the hours both to 0. To add an additional exception, click Add Exception and enter a new date. You can add as many exceptions as you need for this web chat channel. Once your exceptions have been added, you'll be able to view them in the grid above. You can see the date of that exception, whether or not it occurs annually, the schedule, so the hours that web chat is available on that day, and then the actions. You have the option to delete it from the platform. You can also use the search filter to search for an existing exception. You can also set the number of exceptions you want to be able to view on this page. Now that the hours of operation of your web chat channel have been configured, it's time to configure the settings. Click on the Settings tab at the top of your screen. Settings is where you will create the general touch and feel of the channel for your clients or customers. The first tab is going to be Appearance. You'll enter a web chat window title that will display on the top of your chat box. Then you have the option to choose from 3 previously configured themes. Additionally, you can set the size of your window box, either small, medium, or large. Or if you have a custom web chat configuration you would like to use instead of the previously configured options, you can upload that file here. Next, you'll need to choose the position of your web chat window, whether you want it to display on the bottom left or the bottom right of your web page. This next field gives you the option to select an extra template field to associate with this web chat. This will bring information from previously created databases to link to these web chat interactions. Under Login Fields, you can select a field from the extra field template that your customer or client will be required to fill out in order to join the chat. You can choose from all of the preloaded options from GoContact, as well as the options from the template you have selected above. Next, I'll need to enter a form label for each of my fields. I can choose if I want these fields to be searchable. What that means is that GoContact can search for these fields in the databases for other interactions. I can also choose to make this field required. If I do that, that means the customer or client is required to populate these fields before joining the chat. I also have the option to delete these from the platform. Scrolling down the page, you have the properties of the channel. You can choose the properties by clicking the box next to the property you want to enable. You can choose to show the client view, show the chat ID of the client, allow sound notifications. You can also choose to start a chat without a message. You can activate specific types of notifications. You can activate sound notifications here and also pop-up notifications. If you choose one of these options, you will also need to set a time that these notifications will be visible. If I want those notifications to be visible for 2 seconds, I'm going to enter 2 here. If I want them to be visible indefinitely, I'm going to enter 0 here. If you want to ask your customers or clients to rate their experience, you have a couple of options. You can allow the rating request, and you can also allow self-rating. You can allow clients to send specific files through the chat. If you enable this option, you'll want to set the maximum file size allowed, as well as the file type that is allowed. You can select any of these options from the dropdown that your organization wants to accept. You can click here to enable ticket creation and email sending, or you can enable show chat when you're offline or when there are no agents available. If you select this option, you will need to select the ticket queue where this interaction will be processed as a ticket. You can also allow mailbox web chat integration. This refers to the mailbox we previously created in the web chat manager to send a customer or client a copy of their interaction. You'll need to select the mailbox from the previously configured mailboxes on the list. You'll enter the mailbox subject, for example, Webchat interaction. These interactions can be sent either automatically or by client request. And the last item on the page is to allow geolocation. Once settings have been configured, the next step is to configure the triggers.